Next, girls, now we proceed next to hidden goodwill. Hidden goodwill means the extra goodwill that is concealed in the total amount that is to be paid to the retiring partner. Remember, we had done hidden goodwill in the admission of a partner. Similar now, hidden goodwill at the time of retirement. This will be more applicable at the time of death of the partner. Let us see how hidden goodwill works. See, it is said sometimes the firm agrees to settle the retiring or the deceased partner's account by payment of a lump sum amount. Then in case this amount is extra, see here I've written in bold letters here, in case the retiring partner's capital, but that capital means after all adjustments, that means after the preparation of capital account, after all adjustments is rupees 4,50,000. We make the revaluation account, we make the capital account. After all the adjustments, the retiring partner's capital comes out to be 4,50,000. And then it is also said that he agreed to be paid rupees 5 lakh. And what is agreed? The total adjustment is coming to 450. But what is being paid in lump sum is rupees 5 lakh. Why is he being paid 50,000 extra? Because this 50,000 is the amount of goodwill, the hidden value of goodwill that is not revealed. See here, the excess paid, that is rupees 50,000, will be his share of goodwill. This will be recorded in the same manner. Remaining partners to retiring partners, the continuing partners and the remaining partners in the gaining ratio, crediting the retiring partner's capital account. See here, the example explains this like this. The amount agreed, this is illustration 52 in my textbook. This is there in the textbook. They say A, B and C are partners sharing profits in the ratio of 1:3. C retires and his capital after making all adjustments. What is most important is after making all adjustments. That means the capital accounts have been furnished for reserves and profit on revaluation stands at rupees 1,20,000. A and B agreed to pay him rupees 1,50,000. After all adjustments, the amount is coming out to be 120 and he is agreed to be paid 150 in full settlement of his claim. That means this amount of 30,000 is his share of goodwill, and his share of goodwill is, what is the entry of his share of goodwill? Remaining to retiring. See here, 1,50,000 is being paid to him. The adjustments of all the capitals reveal that his share is coming out to be 1,20,000. So this 30,000 is his share of goodwill, which will be transferred in the same manner as we have been doing goodwill remaining partners, that is A's capital account, B's capital account to C's capital account in the ratio of gain and sacrifice. 30,000 is to be given, 5 is to 25,000, that is the gaining ratio. We find out the gaining ratio, new ratio minus the old ratio, it comes out to be 5,000 and 25,000 each. This is the hidden goodwill, the share of hidden goodwill credited to the remaining partners. Reaching now to the next episode of the chapter, death of a partner. The chapter names retirement and death of a partner. Retirement, the accounting treatment remains similar at the time of retirement and death. The only difference is that retirement is a planned event and death of a partner is an unplanned event. The partner, the deceased partner representative, they are also to be paid in the same way as a retiring partner is paid. Now let us see what all are the claimants. The legal representatives of the deceased partner are entitled to the claim of the following amounts. What are the amounts to be given to him? The amount standing to the credit of his capital account, credit to the deceased partner's capital account. His share of increase in the value of goodwill of the firm in case we revalue the goodwill, in case the value of goodwill is increased, increase in the value of goodwill, interest on capital if provided in the partnership deed. So in case interest on capital has been provided on the partnership deed, then he representatives claim the interest on capital also. His share of profit on revaluation, his share of joint life policy in case any, his share of any undistributed profits, and his share of profit to the date of death. Now, the following adjustment, the following amount will be debited. These are the things that we have just shared, are the amounts that are credited to him. That means he will be given, but he will be asked to pay. The deceased partner's representative have to pay certain amounts. That means his account is debited with the account of the deceased partner for ascertaining the amount due to the legal representatives. What all are the amounts to be debited? Drawings, in case he has made any drawings, that drawings will be debited. The interest on those drawings, his share of loss on revaluation, in case profit on revaluation, that will be credited. In case loss on revaluation, it will be debited. His share of undistributed loss, such as debit balance of the P&L account, credit balance of P&L account, that means profit, and his share of profit is credited to him. In case of loss, his share of loss will be debited to him, and his share of reduction in the value of goodwill. Increase in goodwill will be credited, and reduction in the value of goodwill will be debited. So all of the above adjustments are first made in the partner's capital account, and then the balance of his capital account is transferred to the executor's account. Who is the executor? Executor is the legal representative of the deceased partner. The partner dies. Till the partner is alive, we make a capital account and debit and credit all the expenses, all the things that are due to be given to him are credited to him, and in case of any losses, those losses are debited to him. We find out the net amount to be paid to his representatives, and then after finding out the total amount, the net amount is transferred to this account called the executor's account. Executor means his legal representative. The legal representative of the deceased partner is entitled at his discretion to interest at 6% per annum. In case it is decided in the PD, that means partnership deed, at that rate. If not decided, then at 6% per annum on the amount due from the date of death and the date of payment. Date of death means the amount will be calculated. Death, I told you, is an undecided event which may happen any time, and a big amount is due to be paid to the representatives of the deceased partner. That may not be very easy for the business to pay at one go. So the amount, after being calculated and ascertained, the unpaid amount is given with interest at the rate of 6% per annum on the amount due from the date of death to the date of payment, or to that portion of profit which is earned by the firm with the amount due to the deceased partner. And this is how the profit will be calculated. The profit. Now profit is an undecided event. Profit will be calculated only after the after the year is over. Profit cannot be calculated any time of the event, any time of the year. The profit will be calculated, but then in case death happens any day of the year, the profits have to be calculated for that period. This is how there are two ways to calculate profit in case the death happens in between the year. This is how the profit will happen. These are the two ways on which the profits will be calculated. There is a time basis and on the turnover basis. As I told you, death is an undecided event. It may happen any time of the year. But profit, how will profit be calculated in between the year? During the tenure of the year, the P&L account has not been made. So these are the ways on which the profit can be ascertained during the year, on the time basis or on the turnover, that is the sales basis. Let us see now. In case it is time basis, we first deal with the time basis. In case it is on the basis of time. Now see, in case the average profit, we have been given there, this is illustration 48. I will take you to illustration 48 of the textbook. See children, here we come to this illustration 54. A, B and C were partners in a firm sharing profits in 3, 2, 1. The firm closes its books on 31st March every year. B died on 12th June. In between the month he died. On B's death, the goodwill of the firm was valued at rupees 60,000. On B's death, his share of profits in the firm till his death is valued to be calculated on the basis of previous year's profit, and previous year's profit have been given to us as rupees 1,50,000 on the basis of previous year. If that means the question is saying if the profits for the previous year, full previous year, 12 months profit are 1,50,000, let us calculate the profits for the period for this year, for the period when he was alive. How will that be done? We will calculate the B's share of goodwill, that is 60,000 into 2 by 6. His share of goodwill will calculate. This will be debited to his capital account of A and C in their ratio of gain and sacrifice that will calculate, or it will be given 3:1. Now, number of days from March 31 to June 12. He dies on 12th June. 12th June means we will calculate till from March onwards. We have the profits have been given till 31st of March. How many days was he alive in the current year? He was alive for 73 days. We have to calculate the days for the period he was alive in this year. If now if the profits for the previous year is rupees 1,60,000, what will be the proportional profits for 73 days? If for a period of 365 days the profits were 1,50,000, what will be the proportional profit on 73 days? That means the period for which he was alive. 1,50,000 into 73 by 365 into his share, 2/6 share, that comes to rupees 10,000. The journal entry, we will make the journal entry. The journal entry will be I have told you remaining to retiring is the journal entry for his amount, what is paid to him. The remaining partners A, C and the deceased partner to B's capital account, these are the amounts. 20,000 will have to be paid to him in the ratio of the gain after his death, that is 15,000 is to 5,000. P&L suspend. Now this is the amount which is calculated, amount of profit. We call it P&L suspense account because profit and loss account will be opened only on 31st of March. At the event, for the event of death, a new account is calculated, new account is created, which is called P&L suspense account for posting the amount of profit that is credited to the deceased partner's representative, that is rupees 10,000, which we have just calculated. This is P&L suspense account to B's capital account. Clear? Now there is one more basis, that is called the sales basis. The calculation of the profits on the turnover or the sales basis. The question now reads, the profits from the last